Hello guys, this is Dev and today we are going to talk about projectiles. So by the standard definition of projectile, it is an object which moves along the surface of the earth under the influence of gravity. So this is a figure I have drawn. We can see I have thrown an object with a velocity u. Okay, the magnitude of this is constant over the whole course of the object's motion. This is x and this is y. The object moves with an acceleration under gravity. Okay, so we have to find out few things, like height, maximum height, range, maximum range, and we also have to find out whether this curve is a parabola or an ellipse or hyperbola. So we'll soon find out. So we can see, first we will always remember this, velocity is a vector. So first, for obtaining all these things, we have to first resolve this. Okay, so in any vector calculation, first you resolve. For example, I take this point, this is u, so we resolve along horizontally. Sorry, this is much more, and we resolve along vertically. So okay, this is u and this is theta because this is parallel. These two lines are parallel. This component is u cos theta and this component is u sin theta. Okay, so we can see we have resolved the velocity in two components, along x and along y. So we write down the equation of motion first. The first equation would be along horizontal. Okay, so I'll redraw the figure here. Say this is the distance x object has reached, and this was u cos theta, this was u, this was u sin theta. Now along x we can write the equation of motion as u cos theta times the time taken would be equal to x. Okay, since u cos theta is always in the same direction, if you have noticed. Okay, and u sin theta will always be in the same direction, upwards. Only the direction of the net vector will change. So this is along x, and now we resolve along y would be u sin theta minus g times t would be equal to v. This is because there is an acceleration due to gravity over here along the vertical direction, which is decelerating the object and forcing the object to go down. That's why it is taking a curve. So at any moment of time there will be two displacements, y and x. X we know, we can calculate y. Dy would be equal to v dt. Now we integrate it. So you see, we are integrating over the whole time taken. If we see, the whole time taken was from 0 to p. Okay, but we see that from 0 to p the displacement would be OP. Okay, along this. So this is only x, there is no y. So we can say the displacement along vertical is 0. So whole integration of this would be 0. So u sin theta times the net time taken minus gt square by 2. I have already taught you the integration, you can do it. This would be 0. Hence we get the total time as 2u sin theta by g. This is the total time taken by the object. So now we have the total time taken, 2u sin theta by g. We can calculate the range over this time. X was u cos theta times the total time taken, which would be here 2u sin theta by g. This was equal to u square sin 2 theta by g. Okay, this is the range. Now how do we calculate the maximum range? at what angle will this range be maximum? So as taught earlier, whenever maximum is calculated, the differential of that quantity with respect to the quantity with which the maximum is being calculated is 0. So we can see if we differentiate this, we get u square by g times cos 2 theta into 2. So cos 2 theta would be here 0, 2 theta would be equal to pi over 2, so theta would be equal to pi over 4. So if a quantity has to be maximum, the differential is 0, yes, but the double differential is always negative. Okay. Since the curve in maximum always goes down, you can see if this quantity is maximum, the curve is going down. Okay. Initially the curve is going up, then down, right? But this denotes the whole curve being upside down. For example, if the curve would have been like this, so this would have been positive, this quantity. But curve is like this, so this is negative. And the slopes of individual, curve, this is positive and this is negative. I'll show you how. Say for example, this is a curve. This is x and this is theta. So for example, we got the maximum value as pi over 4. We take a quantity here and we take a quantity here. If this has to be maximum, this curve slope, or we can say dx by d theta, when say a quantity a, a1, a2, when a1 is less than pi by 4, has to be positive, and dx by d theta when a is greater than pi by 4 has to be negative. Only then this quantity will be maximum. So we found out that theta was pi by 4. Now dx over d theta was u square by g 2 cos 2 theta. Okay. So let us take for example 15 degrees. Okay. This is 45. So we take a quantity less than this, 15. So cos 2 into 15 would be cos 30. Cos 30 is root 3 by 2. So this would be greater than 0. Our first statement has been fulfilled. Now we take a quantity, for example, say pi by 2, because 90 degree is greater than 45. Okay. So here cos 2 times pi over 2 would be equal to cos pi, which is negative, and 2u square by g. So this becomes negative and our second quantity is fulfilled. So this curve has maximum at pi by 4, because either of those points adjacent to pi by 4 give the same result as our statement is. Okay. And another quantity d square x by d theta square I was talking about has to remain always negative. We can see here, we double differentiate this, so we have 2u square by g times minus sine 2 theta times 2. So you take any quantity, this will be minus. For example, earlier we have taken 15 degrees, right? So 15 degrees sine 30, this is negative. Okay. Again, I take 90 would be 0, but you enhance the quantity. For example, you take 60 degrees. Okay, 60 is 45, 60 is greater than 45. So you take 60 sine 120, and sine 120 is sine 90 plus 30. Sine A cos B, cos A sine B, this is positive. So overall the sign would be negative, because sine 120 is positive, so this would be negative. So this quantity always has to be less than 0, and this quantity varies, and this has to be 0 at that particular maximum point. So we have proved that pi by 4 is maximum value. Okay, so we got x was u square sine 2 theta by g. Now x maximum would be putting theta pi by 4, which means u square by g. Okay, so u square by g is the max value, maximum range. Okay, so what is the height now? We have to calculate the height. So y was u sine theta times t minus gt square over 2. So first we can calculate the maximum height. Okay, how do we do that? Again, we differentiate this with respect to t. For example, dy by dt was u sine theta minus gt. This will have to be 0 because the quantity at that particular maximum point is 0. Okay, the differential is 0 because either the curve is going like this, or even if the curve is going like this, you see this point has a slope tangential to it. Okay, and this tangent is parallel to x-axis. This means when a tangent is parallel to x-axis, slope is 0. Okay, take this point. Okay, this point has maximum value like this, so draw tangent. This is 0. Okay, so you can see the tangent value is 0. Okay, so time would be equal, t would be equal to u sine theta over g. And now putting this value here, okay, we see that y equal to u sine theta times u sine theta over g minus half u square sine square theta by g. Y would be equal to u square sine square theta by 2g. Okay, so this actually is the maximum height. This would be the maximum height. Okay, because projectile is thrown, so obviously the height maximum reach would be this. It cannot be thrown downwards, it can only be thrown upwards. This would be the maximum height. This would be y max. Okay. So what is x at y max? How do we calculate x? So you see x was u cos theta times t, and from there we calculated t, u cos theta times u sine theta over g. Why did this t come here? Why is the value of t this? Because at y max the slope would be parallel to x-axis, and when slope is parallel to x-axis, it is obviously 0. So this means when we differentiated y at that particular point t, the slope was 0, and the point t was this. So x would be equal to u square sine 2 theta by 2g. This would be the range when maximum height would be achieved. Okay, so we have calculated the maximum height in this curve. Okay, so for example, for the range to be maximum, we knew that angle theta was 45, right? So what will be the height at this range? So maximum height would be achieved like u square sine square 45, right? And sine square 45 u square by 4g. This would be the maximum height achieved at theta equal to 45. Say theta is for example, we can also find something like what will be the angle when the height and ranges are equal. How do you calculate that? So height achieved was u square sine square theta by 2g, and range was x, which was equal to u square sine 2 theta by g. This cancels out, this cancels out. 2 sine theta cos theta, 1 sine theta gets over here. So sine theta by cos theta would be equal to 4. So tan inverse 4. This is the angle when range and the maximum height achieved would be equal. Okay, so moving on, we have y equal to u sine theta t minus gt square by 2. So we substitute the value of t was x, but divided by u cos theta. Y would be equal to x tan theta minus gx square by 2 u square cos square theta. Okay, this is the value. This is a parabola. Okay, so y is x tan theta minus gx square by 2u square cos square theta. So for example, for theta equal to 45, where range is maximum, y would be equal to x times 1 minus gx square by 2 u square times, obviously this would be 1 by 2 and 2 will cancel out, and y would be equal to x minus gx square by u square. This is obviously a parabola. Okay, for example, if I throw an object at 90 degrees, okay, so when theta is 90, say, I would be reaching infinity, because tan 90 is infinity, and this would turn infinity, cos 90 is 0, and this would be infinity, so y would be reaching infinity. But only depends on the, x would always be 0, because when y reaches infinite, the projectile will only go up. Okay, so x would always be 0. Okay, tan theta minus gx square by 2 u square cos square theta has another conclusion also. We earlier saw that the projectile is thrown from O and reached P, right? So there are 2 points where y is 0 because this is x, this is y, so y would be 0 at O and P. Okay, so we equate y to 0 first, and we see the points where where the point, we see the point x where y becomes 0. So we can take x as common here, tan theta minus gx divided by 2 u square cos square theta. So either x is 0, which was at O, and either x is 2 u square cos square theta by g times tan theta. So this would be sine by cos, 1 cos would be cancelled, 2 u square cos theta sin theta, which is equal to u square sine 2 theta by g. So this was the range we arrived at, right? If you try and calculate y by putting this, it will obviously be 0. Okay, it can have no other value other than 0 achieved, which was u square sine square theta by 2g. This would be the maximum height achieved. Okay, we do y versus theta, and when we do y versus theta analysis, say for example this is a curve, and y was u sine theta t minus g t square by 2, right? After differentiating this, we got u sine theta by g, right, as t. So t would be this, u sine theta by g. At this value, the slope would be parallel to x-axis, right? This is okay. Now we take a value which is less than this. For example, we take half of this. So y dy by dt would be u sine theta minus g times t, na? So we take u sine theta by 2g. Okay, we take a value half, right? This is equal to u sine theta by 2. So gg cancels out, this is positive and this slope is going positive, yes. And here we take 2u sine theta by g first because this is greater. So dy by dt would be equal to u sine theta minus u sine theta minus 2u sine theta g by g. Gg cancels out, this would be equal to minus u sine theta. Okay, this is it, and this is negative, so the slope is going down. So this, and another thing, d square y by dt square, what will be this? Well, d square y by dt square would be equal to first dy by dx, this will be cancelled out and this will be equal to minus g. Okay, obviously this is the acceleration, it has to be minus g, This is the acceleration along y direction, so this is negative. Obviously this is constant and this is negative, that's why this means y has to be maximum at some point, and this point is u sin theta by g. So the height achieved or the projectile which can achieve the maximum height is at point this. Now we come to another important theory, which is the theory of radius of curvature, which is r. Radius of curvature is defined as 1 plus dy over dx. This is a mathematical expression which I am giving, the whole square 3 over 2 divided by d2y by dx2. This is the exact mathematical expression of radius of curvature of any curve. Okay, so in many cases they ask to find the radius of curvature. For example, y is x tan theta minus g x square by 2u square cos square theta. So just by simple differentiation you can obtain this. Writing down the mathematical expression, this is 1 plus dy by dx the whole square to the power 3 over 2 by d2y by dx2. This holds for any curve of 2 dimensional, of course. So now they ask you to find the radius of curvature of this projectile. For example, x tan theta minus g x square by 2u square cos square theta. So we can do this. First we say y equal to x tan theta g x square by 2u square cos square theta. So dy by dx would be equal to tan theta minus gx by u square cos square theta, because twice of this 2 will be cancelled in the differentiation process. d2y by dx2 would be equal to minus g divided by u square cos square theta. Okay, so for example they ask you to find the radius of curvature starting point O. So at starting point obviously x is 0, so dy by dx would be equal to tan theta, right? Now r would be equal to 1 plus tan square theta to the power 3 over 2 divided by minus g over u square cos square theta, and r is always the modulus of this. Okay, so r would be equal to u square cos square theta by g times secant cube theta u square by g cos theta. R at O. Okay. Also, we can do this by another method also. For example, this is a projectile, this is O and P, this is U, this is G. We have to find the radius at O. So we assume a certain segment of this to be circular. For example, we have seen in circular motion that the velocity and acceleration are perpendicular to each other. Okay, we have seen this v and a. That's why an object goes along a circle. Okay. So we assume a small portion of it to be circle and then take the component of gravity. Okay, so for example, the component of gravity, this is theta, this would be 90 minus theta because we have to make it perpendicular. This whole angle must be 90, this must be 90 minus theta, and this must be theta. So this component becomes g cos theta, right? And this component becomes v sin theta. Now at O, this won't be included. Okay, so we have earlier we had for a circle r would be equal to v square by a, or a would be equal to v square by r, right? So here we have v is u here, u square by g cos theta, the perpendicular component. This is the radius of curvature at O. Okay. So guys, I have completed projectile, each and everything explained to you in detail. Okay, in minute details I have explained it. So I'll be making a video. Next video will be on circular motion. its explanation and derivations and conceptual clarity. Okay, pseudo force, and will involve friction too. Okay, so do subscribe, rate this video, like it, comment it, whatever you do. Please remind me of making more videos, and please remind me if I have left anything. Okay, thank you.